Everyone can see the slides okay? All right, so the
Yeah.
first, okay, good. Welcome everyone to our class on essential skincare. It's a topic that kind of sits close to my heart because of the issues that I've had with my skin over the years. So I'm going to take you back to the beginning and when I was a teenager. So I'm sure many of you can relate. Being a teen was tough, right? Our hormones were going crazy, and acne and pimples and blemishes definitely sort of got in the way of things. So I was no different than anyone else. I had issues with acne and pimples. However, what was interesting was it wasn't as bad in my teens as it was in my 20s. Like, it continued to get worse, and I did it all. So I remember my mom taking me to, I think it was Eaton's at the time, and we went to the Clinique counter, and I got my 4-step system or my 2-step system. I don't remember what it was, but I do remember that totally dried my skin out. It felt awful on my skin all the time, and I almost felt like my skin got worse. And then it didn't improve. It didn't really get better. So my mom said, okay, well, let's take you to the doctor. So I went to the doctor and had a course of Accutane. Does that sound familiar to anyone? Accutane? It's a really, really strong drug that they were giving to people at the time, way back, And one of the questions they asked you is, are you trying to get pregnant? Because it's one of those drugs that you couldn't take if you were trying to conceive, which was a big hint that it was a pretty strong drug that could be damaging to future life, right? So that was sort of taking that a little bit more serious. But I was so desperately wanting to fix my acne problem that I took it. I took it for a period of time. But while I was taking it, I started to read up on it. And then I sort of changed my mind and stopped taking it because I didn't like some of those side effects in the long term. And then one of the things I tried after that was a skincare line called Proactive. And I don't know if you know Proactive, but I remember doing that and it was working really well. However, it turned all of my colored towels white. It bleached them. And so again, I asked myself, what is this doing in my body? So that was my skincare journey. And I only knew, no, I wish that I knew what I know now. Now I'm a holistic nutritionist, and I know so much about the body, and I know that your skin health is a reflection of what's happening inside. And so I want everyone to know the things that I know now, because it can save you a lifetime of heartache. And our skin matters, right? We do care how we present ourselves, our faces to the world. And so it's really nice to have a clear looking complexion, obviously. So what I've done is I put my text down there, and I want you to text to me. So not the chat feature on the Zoom, but actually text on my phone. Text with me your number one skin challenge, like the one thing that you want an answer for today. So maybe it's redness, maybe it's acne, dryness, wrinkles, dark spots, whatever it is. Just text that to me so that I have a record of it. And then I can look down and make sure that I'm talking to your specific issue so you get an answer today. So let's take a look at what we're going to be doing. So first things, I want you to think about the good stuff too. Like, quite often as women, we focus on the one bad thing. Like lately for me, I'm 50 now, 51, actually I'm 51 now. And the first thing I do when I look in the mirror subconsciously is I look at the dark circles under my eyes. That's so bad, you guys. And so I catch myself and then I turn it around and I say, actually, I love my skin. My skin's actually looking pretty good compared to usual. So what I want you to focus on now is just think about, what are some of the things that you love about your skin? Like what's working well for you? And then focus on that first, and then focus on what are a couple of things that you want to improve about your skin. All right. And so I'd just like you to jot that down. And like I said, the things that you want to improve, you can text that to me. All right, so we're going to talk about it all. And for those of you who don't know anything about essential oils, one of the things that you'll want to know is that essential oils are pure, and they are the powerhouse part of a plant, meaning that it's where the intelligence lies. And so a lot of different essential oils can be anti-inflammatory. They can take the redness away. They can be anti-itch, antibacterial, antiviral, anti-inflammatory. So all of those properties are really powerful when it comes to skin. And one of the things that we do know now is a lot of the products on the store shelves contain harmful ingredients that could damage your health over the long term. There are a number of known carcinogens in many of our skincare products. One of my favorites, I don't want to slam this one product, but I used to love Neutrogena, and I looked it up on the environmental working group, and it's actually one of the more toxic skincare products or lines. And so over the years, I've learned some of the ingredients that you want to look out for in your products. And it's really hard to find clean stuff these days. If you're getting your skincare stuff at Shoppers Drug Mart or Walmart or even online, it's really hard to find a clean product. And a lot of those chemicals, well, essentially women put about 167 chemicals on their bodies every day. 167 chemicals. And what we know is what goes on your skin goes inside your body. And so some of those chemicals could be causing an irritation or an inflammation. So while we think we're doing good, so I was slathering on that Proactive, what I could have been doing is making my body more inflamed by introducing more chemicals inside my body. And same with the Clinique. Clinique's not a clean product either. There's lots of chemicals in there. And so essential oils have been used over the years for centuries. And you'll notice that when you look at some of the high-end products out there, you'll recognize some of the words. Like you'll recognize frankincense, you might recognize yarrow. So there's some very common essential oils used in skincare products because they've learned from plants. They actually work really well with the skin. So let's talk about redness. So redness, as I mentioned earlier, I talked a little bit about inflammation. So when you're seeing redness on your skin, so I know, for example, my sister, she always, whenever she drinks red wine, she gets like really red cheeks. Anyone have that issue? I'm just checking my text. You can make sure you text me. So that's a common thing. A lot of people have that issue. And so one of the things that you can do to address the redness is you can use an essential oil to calm it down topically. And some of the best essential oils for that are frankincense, helichrysum, and a new oil that doTERRA released called yarrow palm. And you'll see that little tube there, and that's called Correct X. So for those of you who are seasoned oilers, you'll recognize these very well. They're common oils that are introduced by a company that I work with because I like their testing. There isn't a lot of testing around essential oils on the market right now. So even if you go and you grab an oil off a health food store shelf, odds are you're not getting the real deal. There's a real problem out there in the industry where there's tons of knockoffs and they're doing something called adulterating oils so that they combine different things to make it smell like frankincense, but it's not going to do the same thing that the pure and potent frankincense is meant to do. So frankincense is a powerful oil. It's actually it's a resin, meaning that it's sort of the thick and sappy part that comes off of a tree, the bark. And these trees grow in Somalia. And it's really hard to harvest. Workers go out all day long and they kind of get this resin off the trees. And these trees are so resilient. They grow in rocks, roots, and it's dry. And this oil is taken from this tree, right? And so you can imagine the essential oils are what keep that plant or that tree alive. And so there's some incredible anti-inflammatory properties in frankincense specifically. And so that's an oil you're going to see a lot when it comes to skincare. And it's incredible for redness because it's addressing that root cause of the inflammation. It's calming the inflammation that's in the body instead of irritating. Helichrysum is also it's a little bit more pricey. It's the frankincense is about $90 and the helichrysum's around there as well. And it is also excellent for things like bruising, but also takes sort of the redness and the brownness out of skin. So that's a fantastic one, very popular when it comes to skincare. And then yarrow palm is, the plant is yarrow and the palm stands for pomegranate seed oil. And that pomegranate seed oil is a pure, clean oil that's typically used in a lot of skincare products because it's very nourishing to the skin. And what it does is it holds the power of the essential oil on top of the skin and it draws moisture to it. And yarrow palm is really great for helping the body to produce collagen, but also reducing redness. So these specific 3 oils are great for redness. The Correct X is almost like a polysporin, but it's a natural version of polysporin. And it can be used for a number of different things. It's typically designed for things like healing cuts, an open cut or a wound, like you basically use it the way you would polysporin, except that it's just pure essential oils. And frankincense and helichrysum are in the Correct-X. And so it's just kind of a ready to go version of the oils, really easy to use. And it's fantastic for redness, especially for something where you're healing some redness. Like maybe you've had an injury, maybe you've had a scar and you want to try to get rid of that scar and it's really red looking and irritated looking. Correct-X would be a great product to put on that. So that's redness. So let's talk about scars. So many of us have scars and, it's very natural that they fade over time. However, some of us want it to happen a lot faster than it takes. And there is so much research that shows how quickly key essential oils can fade a scar. And that the oils here that work the best is an oil called geranium. So it's a plant, it's a flower. And flowers are really powerful. They're very calming, they're very healing. And that's a great oil. Frankincense is also a great oil. You're seeing a picture here of a tube. This is a frankincense that is pre-diluted, meaning that it's already mixed with a fractionated coconut oil, which is a liquid-based coconut oil, to make application easier. The previous picture showed a bottle of frankincense here, and essentially that's pure frankincense. So you'd always wanted to dilute it first before you put it on your skin because it can be very potent and it's going to go a long way if you dilute it in something. And so this is just another way to buy frankincense. You can buy it already ready to go. I love it, the convenience of it. I actually have one of these in my bathroom. And every night before bed, I actually rub it on my hands and then I rub it under my eyes. And I actually use it for a breast detox as well. That's a whole other webinar, but it's really great for healthy breast tissue also, addressing that inflammation. Yarrow Palm is fantastic. It's funny, one of my customers was just telling me that she was using Yarrow Palm on her stretch marks. So she's got 2 kids and she had 2 babies and she kind of just gave up on it. Didn't really think much about it. Didn't really bother her having scar tissue. But she ended up deciding to just give it a go and try the Yarrow Palm. And she just started applying it on her scars and they completely disappeared. So she was pretty happy to see that. And neroli is also a great oil. It's a flower and it's typically used for anxiety. But the cool thing is, think about it this way. So when you are irritated or your skin is irritated, what we want to do is calm it down. And so it's also the same thing for the nervous system. When your nervous system is irritated, neroli calms it down. So it's kind of cool. It works the same way. The oils are pretty powerful because they can work topically, but they can also work on an emotional level and they can calm you down. For those of you who use oils, you understand that already. So if you want my text number, it's 905-483-1969. So I'm going to type it in, I know some of you are having problems. So there's my number privately. Oops, I sent it privately. So let's send it to everyone. If you send it to me directly, I can then communicate with you after the webinar and help you find solutions to your issues. So I'm just looking at your texts right now just to catch up. So it looks like someone gets red dots on your chin when you drink. Yeah, interesting. So that could be an indication that some people alcohol does cause a redness. It's like a rosacea, and it can be triggered by alcohol. And it's just a sign again that there's a little bit of inflammation happening. Your body could be sensitive to alcohol. It could be sensitive to that particular type of alcohol that you're drinking. I know for some reason red wine can cause a lot of redness in the cheeks, whereas white wine doesn't. So you can play around a little bit with that. So it could be an allergy, because sometimes, you get a rash or redness from actually an allergy to that food or to that item. So kind of play with that a little bit, Wendy. So red dots when you eat sugary food. Yeah, so sugary food, again, also is it's an inflammatory food, sugar. And so sugar can absolutely cause inflammation in the body. And then when that inflammation happens in the body, one of the ways your body shows it to you is through the skin. And often it happens last. And so when you're seeing it on your skin, it's usually a message saying you got to change something because something needs addressing, because your body's pretty smart. Like, it will do everything it can to kind of keep that inflammation down. It's got beautiful processes that are meant to detox and work well. And inflammation is great in the short term. It does its thing, addresses the issue, but then you want it to go away. So it's when those things start to hang on, like those skin issues, maybe they're lasting longer than a day, for example, or they keep coming up at a certain time. That's when you want to address it, because there's something more going on, right, that you're not really getting to the root cause of. So something to think about. So breakouts. So I know someone mentioned they wanted to get a solution for breakouts. So I'm definitely going to talk, I'm going to talk topical first. This is usually backwards for me because I usually start from the inside out being a nutritionist, but we're going to get to the inside shortly. So please hang tight. But topically, there's some really great oils for acne. And the best ones are the oils that have an antibacterial component to them. They're called constituents. So some oils are smart, right? They need antibacterial to stay alive. So if a bacteria was to attack the plant, it can protect itself with its antibacterial. So the antibacterial oils are typically found in the leaves of a plant. So a tea tree leaf and a rose petal. Okay. So the products here, the oils here is, so the tea tree, it's also called Melaleuca in the United States, but that is a really powerful antibacterial. So it can be great used topically on a pimple or on a zit. And you could even use it for prevention. So a lot of people put a drop of tea tree into their skincare and they put it on their face at night, even in their moisturizer. So that's a great way to use tea tree. Or you could make yourself a little roller bottle, dilute that tea tree down a little bit, and then just roll it right onto your troubled areas at nighttime. Rose is a pricey oil, but it's excellent also for acne. It's probably not the first recommendation I would say for people, just because it is a little bit pricey. But I would always start people off with the tea tree or the HD Clear. Now, doTERRA has a number of blends designed specifically for specific issues. And this HD Clear roller is designed for people with acne-prone skin. So it's an antibacterial blend, and I've got so much good feedback. I have a lot of younger clients on this, and some of all my clients love it when it comes to acne. It's a great topical blend to address acne and skin conditions. So again, always remember, breakouts are often associated, they can be associated with bacteria on the skin, but it also could be hormone related or linked to foods that your body doesn't like, right? So the alcohol story about the dots, that could be a food that your body doesn't like, one for now. And I know that might sound depressing, maybe, but always remember that sometimes maybe for you, it's the straw that broke the camel's back. So if you address something else that your body's working on fighting right now, sometimes that alcohol would be okay with you down the road. So this isn't a permanent thing for you, is what I'm saying. When you start picking away at other health issues, it's like peeling an onion, right? Sometimes your body just gets stronger, and then that alcohol may not be a problem for you down the road. So that's just giving you a little bit of hope there. Hormones, absolutely. I mean, when your hormones are sort of out of balance, and a lot of us, they are, because we're getting a lot of, fake estrogens, which are called xenoestrogens, just by living our lives, like eating meat, drinking out of a plastic water bottle. We're getting bad hormones into our body, xenoestrogens, and it can wreak havoc. So what they do is they attach to a cell, to the receptor sites. And when they attach to the receptor site, they prevent the estrogen in your body that's supposed to be there from attaching to that receptor site. So it's almost like plugging into the wrong spot, right? They plug into the wrong spot and they prevent you from plugging the proper thing in. So it can cause, hormonal havoc. So there's a lot you can do with your gut health and also with balancing hormones that will improve the appearance of your skin as well. So we're going to get into a little bit of that later. So I know some people complain about brown spots. I think some people call them age spots, but whatever. It's, it's whatever, like a brown patch that might appear on your skin that wasn't there before. And it can be caused by sun damage, aging, or even hormonal pigmentation. Brown spots can even appear on people who have blood sugar issues. Like if your blood sugar is not super balanced, you might notice like some brown sort of patches in the folds of your elbows and inside your knees. So that's kind of like an interesting tidbit there for you. But so your body's smart, right? It's telling you all the time to pay attention and listen and do something about it. So some of the best products to fade brown spots are frankincense. So we've heard that one before, right? That's our tree-based oil, super powerful. Lavender. So I love lavender, and the doTERRA lavender smells like the real deal. I don't know. For me, when I heard the word lavender, I was like, oh, so I hated it. I didn't love it because it reminded me of my grandma's, and it used to make me sneeze. But what you'll find when you're using doTERRA, like really clean oils, good quality oils, it has a very different experience for you. Lavender is a really calming oil. So it's often used for things like redness, sunburns, brown spots, bug bites, mosquito bites, pimples. You can put them on pimples as well. It's also an antibacterial. It's just not the first choice antibacterial, but it is still good. But it's calming to your nervous system as well as your skin. So, so it's a great oil. It's so versatile. And sandalwood can also be a really great oil for fading brown spots, as well as black spruce. Black spruce is a newer oil. It actually comes from Quebec, which is kind of cool. I love any Canadian oil. So it's a really neat oil to use topically on brown spots also. So, I don't know about you, but I definitely had my share of, I did the baby oil thing when I was suntanning as a teenager, and I know my skin needs a lot of work. And so I religiously put on frankincense, and I used lavender, and I used all sorts of healing, calming oils, because it does improve cellular structure, and it repairs the cell. Like frankincense actually repairs the structure of the cells. And so if you take a look at PubMed, there are actually studies that show that it can address skin cancers. So, I mean, the studies are preliminary. There's a lot out there, but there's definitely a need for more and more studies. So it's exciting to see more studies popping up, but there's some really exciting ones out there. So especially with that powerful frankincense and lavender, actually. So aging. So we're all aging all the time, right? We've been aging since we were 4. But and it's one of those things where you're going to get fine lines and wrinkles. And, it's one of those things where you at some point you're gonna have to come to terms with it. But there are definitely ways that you can reduce the appearance of wrinkles. So maybe they don't look as deep, maybe they don't look as dry. So there are definitely things you can do, and even to address loose skin. Now, really the goal with this is to age more gracefully, because some of the products out there, the anti-aging products, actually contain chemicals. So maybe it's making your skin look better, but maybe it's going internally and causing all sorts of inflammation that's not good for your health over the long term. Some of them, again, are known carcinogens, which means cancer causing. So no, thank you. I'll take the clean stuff. And so again, you see that powerful frankincense showing up there for us for aging. Again, a really powerful one. Frankincense and myrrh. So we know those oils are in the Bible, right? We were smart back then. They knew that these oils were very powerful. And so myrrh can also be a powerful skin oil. It's almost like the feminine version of frankincense. It's not the best smelling oil, I'll be honest. So I would probably direct you to frankincense first before myrrh. But neroli is a nice one. People tend to love the smell of that one. And Immortelle is a blend, and it's actually you can get it free this month if that piques your interest. But Immortelle is a blend of essential oils designed specifically for reducing the appearance of wrinkles and anti-aging. And you can use it for a lot of other things as well. It's a very powerful brand. It's about $90. And there is a way to get that free this month. And it's by ordering X amount. It's actually 200 point value, they say. I'll talk about it later, but you would get a free bottle of that. So people love that. And a lot of my current customers, if you have points saved up, that is a gem that you want to buy. And I'll show you how to stretch it later on and make it last like a year at least. All right, so let's talk about the inside now, because this really is the best place to start. Personally, I do believe that starting from the inside out is the way to go when it comes to skin. And I'll give you a story. I'll tell you a story. Like one of my clients way back, he was a teenager, and he was very driven to figure out the cause of he had that cystic acne, that really deep, those big pimples that are so painful and they're awful, and you feel so bad for anyone who has to deal with that. And he sort of started figuring out that things he ate were making it worse. And so I worked with him, and we worked on his gut health primarily. And then we started to identify food triggers. And for him, it was dairy. cow's dairy was causing a lot of the acne for him. So he cut that out and his skin improved dramatically. And then it wasn't quite perfect, but as soon as he ended up limiting the gluten, and you guys are like, no, but when he eliminated gluten from his diet, his skin cleared incredibly. Unfortunately, the gluten in Canada is very inflammatory for us. And so if you've got a bit of a struggle going in your body, and there's a lot going on with stress and just different layers of stress for your body, that definitely could be a cause of your skin issues. But I usually start with the basics. There's a really neat vitamin package that doTERRA has, and I know some of my customers are on it for sure. Because sometimes your skin isn't healing because it's missing nutrients. And you'll see the foundational skin nutrients right here. These are really common ones. Like you've probably heard of vitamin A related to skin, and carotenoids, like you've heard of like eat your carrots, right? Because that's really good for skin and eyes as well. Biotin, vitamin C. I mean, that's a popular one for skin, vitamin C. Copper, zinc, huge, linoleic acid. All of those vitamins are really key. And most of us just are not getting them in our diet for a couple of different reasons. One, because our food is devoid of the nutrients it used to have because of the current farming practices, where the soil's just not as rich anymore. And then also because of our gut issues. A lot of us have gut issues. And when you've got a little bit of a gut issue, meaning your bacteria is out of balance, you may have a hard time digesting and absorbing nutrients. And so, so sometimes people will notice issues in their skin when really it's a problem of the gut. So, so this kit, I should talk about each of them, but the first one on the left there is called the Vitamin Mineral Complex. And that's really just like a multivitamin, but it also has some powerful essential oils like frankincense, which is our anti-inflammatory, is in there, as well as clove, which is incredible for the immune system. And then the fish oils. So if people don't want to do a full kind of range of supplements and they just want to take a simple approach, usually what I would do is start them on a good quality fish oils. Sometimes even just taking a fish oil will just make your skin glow. Like, especially if you're dealing with dryness, wrinkles, and even redness and irritation, a fish oil addresses inflammation. It addresses sort of that dryness and the wrinkles. So fish oils can be very powerful when it comes to healthy skin. And then the last one on the right there is called Alpha CRX, and that's our cellular vitality complex. It has things like curcumin, green tea extract, turmeric, you've probably heard of that. And those are all anti-inflammatory herbs. And so it's got a beautiful complex in there, a number of different herbs and essential oils that address inflammation in the body. So again, I mentioned a lot of disease starts from inflammation inside, including issues of the skin. And so when you can get the goodness inside, it's going to be reflected on the outside. Okay, so that's a great place to start for healthy skin. doTERRA has some other really great products. I'm going to start with the one on the right, the Terrazyme, because this is a game changer for a lot of people. When people start getting really consistent with taking a digestive enzyme with their foods, a lot of people notice a difference in their skin. So it's pretty cool, actually. Sometimes people are not breaking down their foods very well. Over time, your digestive enzymes decrease. As you get older, because of the foods we've been eating and the life we've been living, they just decrease over time. And so you're not always breaking down your foods well enough. And then they pass through your digestive tract not broken down. And so there's these food particles getting into your gut, and your gut gets angry. And these little particles then sort of feed the unhealthy bacteria, and the unhealthy bacteria starts to proliferate. And then they poop and they create bloating. So sometimes if people feel bloating, it could be because you've just fed your unhealthy bacteria with some juicy, sugary meal or some undigested food particles that didn't make it through the stomach into the gut, broken down well enough. And so this is such a good supplement, you guys. When you take one with every meal, bigger meals take two, and it breaks down your food really, really well. And I would always say to chew your food to liquid. It's huge. Like, chew it as much as you can until it's liquid, swallow it. then you're going to get better digestion also. And especially for things like eczema and more chronic skin conditions like dermatitis and, just any sort of like, dandruff even. Dandruff, right? Dandruff is the sign that you don't have enough fish oils in your body, or you're maybe not digesting your food very well. So Terrazyme's awesome. Like, I swear by it. And then the one on the left is just rolled out this year, and it's a pretty cool one. It's designed specifically for the skin. It's got a number of different items in it that are good for the skin, like grapeseed and vitamin C, which are really important for producing collagen. So I know a lot of people are taking collagen in their coffee and in their smoothies and stuff these days, which is great for your skin. I highly recommend a good quality marine collagen if you can get one, a nice clean one. But this is a neat little supplement too. And it also contains melon, which enhances the skin. So that's a really great food. It adds sort of water and nourishment to the skin also. How am I doing for time? Okay. So the next couple of supplements that are fantastic for skin health, the first one is a probiotic. So the probiotic, this is called PB Assist, and it just means that it's pre and probiotics. So it's basic. The pre is what feeds the good bacteria. So you need prebiotics and probiotics, and it helps you with a better balance of bacteria. So I mentioned the bad bacteria a lot. So this introduces good bacteria into your gut so that the good bacteria can take down the bad bacteria. And, if you're really having another issue going on with digestion, it could be that you need more help killing the bad bacteria, but often a daily probiotic can be enough. If you're sort of like a regular person, just with basic skin issues, then this can be a really helpful tool to address your skin health. And it absolutely soothes that gut inflammation. And, sometimes you have redness because of gut inflammation, right? So there's a study done where they had people who were sensitive to dairy. They'd eat dairy and they'd get like diarrhea or whatever, or like a bad gut reaction. When they took a probiotic before eating the dairy, they were totally fine. So it's there's some great research on probiotics. Now, the key is that it's just a reminder, it's hard to get it in food. There's some beautiful marketing out there telling you that yogurt has probiotics and this has probiotics, but it really is hard to get it in commercial food. However, it's fantastic if you are eating it in a sauerkraut. Sauerkraut's a great way to get probiotics, or like miso or tempeh or a fermented food like that. Kombucha for some people it can be irritating if you have a yeast overgrowth, but kombucha can be a good one. And as well as sprouts. So sprouting your own seeds can also be amazing for gut health. But a lot of people are like, no thanks. And so sometimes just taking PB Assist or a good quality probiotic is the way to go for busy people. However, I always love when people take a food approach as well, but not everyone's ready to go there. But there's lots of options. Don't feel like you have to remember all this, you guys. This is, this is just information. And again, hang on to, there's going to be something that resonates with you. And we can absolutely talk after the session if you want to get more details and more information on your particular issue. But this is just sort of an overall overview of skin health. So doTERRA does have some beautiful skincare lines. This is probably the most popular one. It's called Virage. And it comes with like a face wash. It comes with a toner. It comes with a moisturizer, and it also comes with that little green one. The little green bottle there is a serum, and it's awesome. I love it. I use it at night. It's like my favorite product. You'll notice that the bottles are, they're all pumps for a reason. It's because it reduces the amount of bacteria that get into your products. And they're small. They're not giant bottles of things because there's no preservatives in them. It's all clean stuff. And so when you're using them, you'll notice that it's not going to be hanging around for months and months. Like, you're going to use them in a month or so, a month or two, I guess 2 months maybe, probably that would last. But it's all clean, and it's the real deal. And it's got very powerful healing essential oils right in the product. So that's a popular one. There's a beautiful line for people with problem skin. So I know someone said pimples. This is your line. It's amazing. It's called the HD Clear Facial Kit. Now, you don't have to get the whole kit. You could also buy single items, but it's a great product for addressing acne prone skin. It's got a wash, it has a moisturizer, and it has a spot treatment roller. So that's fantastic. I mean, it's great, but I could also teach you how to do the same thing with some basic oils as well. So there's lots of different ways that you can address your issues depending on how you want to go forward with this. So this is a really neat line. It's called the Essential Skincare line. And there's some available in Canada. One of my favorite products in this bundle is that under eye cream. I love it. It's amazing, and it actually reduces the appearance of dark circles. There's another product like that tube sitting on the one sitting on top of the jar there. That's a brightening gel. A lot of people really like that. And it also contains some really healing products that protect your skin from the sun. And then there's a pore reducing toner and a skin serum and a moisturizer and a cleanser and a scrub and a hydrating cream. So that's a really nice bundle as well. And you can get smaller versions of that bundle. So just for those of you who don't have a doTERRA account, this is just an idea of how you can create your own wellness box. And people who have an account too, it's also just a sample of a monthly order where you're maximizing your money. So ordering the vitamins, for example, because again, that's inside out health, your digestive enzyme. PB Assist is only available in the US for now. So I could give you the name of one that you could get just at the health food store. That's a pretty good one, or at our clinic. I can let you know that. And then there's a beautiful skincare line. The Virage one is the most popular one. But again, based on your skin issue, I promised you a sample. So I will probably send you a sample of one that I think is going to work best for your skin, and you can give that a go. And then if you place this order for current customers, if you're on the loyalty reward program, there's a points program, but it's totally voluntary, you guys. You don't need to be on it, but it's super generous, and you would get the oil of the month. And the oil of the month this month is actually a skin oil. So that's kind of cool. Can't think of what it's called right now, but it's a really great oil. It's something like neroli, but I just pulled a picture here just to show you how it compares to what's on the market. The prices are really good through doTERRA. I pulled a little Clinique package here just because that's what my mom took me to get my first skincare products when I was young. And you'll see it was $83 for this 3-step system. Whereas the doTERRA acne line, so this is both for acne prone skin, the HD Clear is $60 Canadian. So it's actually pretty well priced. The bottles may not last as long as Clinique. They're a little bit smaller, but like I said, it's because they don't contain any of those harmful chemicals that are going to actually irritate your skin more in the long run. So the skincare line is really affordable. It's a great price. And so that's what I wanted to teach you about in the class. So I'm just going to see if I got any emails or texts. Let's take a look. Any questions? Feel free to chat them in. The enzyme. Yeah, so you'd love the enzyme. The enzymes are incredible. Yeah, you will definitely notice a difference when you're using the enzymes. Now, sometimes it takes some time. So like I could give you a couple to try. Will you notice a difference right away? You'll probably feel different. Would you notice a difference in your skin right away? Probably not. It might take a week or so to really start to see. So I do offer a free sample, but you'll have to text me. If you can text me your number, and then we can exchange like emails and addresses, that would be great. I'm happy to provide you with a sample, and I would send you with a sample that we think makes sense for your skin. I could send you, and we'll talk about it, whether you want the skincare product or whether you want an actual like essential oil to try, because they're both great. And here's the cool thing about essential oils is that you can use them with what you already have as well. So if you already have a skincare line that you use, what you could do is you could just add, for example, you could add a drop of tea tree to your skin if it's irritated, and you just put it on your face. Or you could add frankincense. That's what I did at the beginning before I started using their skincare line. I would just add it to what I was already using. And then I even switched and I started learning more about carrier oils. And then I bought myself some rose hip carrier, and I bought myself like all these amazing carriers that are good for your skin. And you'll just learn more. If you do decide to purchase through me, I have a nice community where I do courses like this, and I continue to educate and I teach you how to use your products. because I want you to use them. And I love them. Like, they work well, and they're healthy, they're safe. So it makes decision making easy for me. I remember like standing in the aisle of Shoppers. Anyone do this where you're just like, which one should I get? Like, I wonder which one, does this one contain harmful? Does this have parabens? Does this one not have parabens? Like, oh my God, I used to get so stressed out. And I was like, what's better? But oil, I like the look of this bottle. And this, I remember this commercial saying that it did this. And it was like so overwhelming. So I'm all about like, let's keep it easy. No, see, so someone was asking if the oil will clog pores. So the cool thing is like when you hear essential oil, it's not actually an oil. It's an essential oil, which is a volatile compound, and it's not greasy. So, and the oils that are used in the products, they'll feel greasy when you first put them on. Like, not greasy, but they'll feel like nourishing, like your skin feels nourished. But it's not going to clog pores. That's the cool thing. Yeah, so someone was saying they use frankincense, geranium. Monique, are you a current customer? But you haven't tried sandalwood and neroli. Yeah, I could send you a sample. Are you a customer on my team? I know that I've invited everyone on my team, so I know some of my other builders may have had people, but if you let me know, that'd be helpful. I'm going to send you my cell number again. So do you use doTERRA's frankincense and geranium and lavender and tea tree? I'm just curious. The thing is, like, I can't speak to the other oils because I really don't know what's in them. Because some of the oils, like, that you buy at the mall, they're not pure. Like, they're generally diluted with another carrier. They might have weeds in them. They're not tested. They could have, who knows what's in them, right? So yeah, so someone wants some vitamin and acne stuff. Yeah, I could definitely share some acne stuff with you. The vitamins are awesome. I definitely love the vitamins. Now, they do take some practice and a real commitment to take and to remember to take them. It took me a long time to really make it a habit, but once you make it a habit, it's just the way you live, right? And it's I don't know, it just really makes a difference. I've got a lot of customers that go off the vitamins and then they're like, oh, wait a minute, I don't have the energy I used to have, or I am actually feeling a little bit achy. Why is that? And then they go back on the vitamins and are like, oh my God, they were doing something. The vitamins are great. Like, I kind of kept it to what they do for the skin for this class. They do a lot more, but I just want to keep it to skin because that was the topic tonight. Yeah, so you know what, Monique, I'm going to give you doTERRA because it is different. You're going to notice a big difference. So you guys text my phone number, the 905-483. It's only because the chat here I lose. So I'll stay on and I can kind of read through and write some stuff down. But if you could send me your email and your cell phone number, that would be a great place to start. And we'll totally chat and figure out where you want to go. The cool thing about essential oils, I'm just going to wrap it up sharing the ways to buy with doTERRA, only because I do have, I think, a couple of customers on the line. Most people are customers with doTERRA because they love the product. Like, probably 80% of people are customers, but some people decide to share oils because they end up loving them so much. And they're like, maybe it'd be kind of fun to make a little bit money on the side. And so they share oils, and all they do is invite people and teach them and share samples and you know, get people to fall in love with oils the way they love them. And you can actually make a side income, which is nice. And then some people decide to build a business. And so you can absolutely do that. And I decided to do that. It's kind of like on the side, but it's a business that's done pretty well. And it's kind of fun to have it on the side because I love it. And I'll always do it because I do think that they're very powerful for a lot of different reasons. And it's kind of a really cool side gig, especially right now, because some people are looking for just a different way to spend their time, you know, after some reflection and kind of looking at our state of the world right now. I truly feel empowered, like having these tools in my house. I feel like I've got it, you know. There's, for those of you who are new to oils, you don't know yet, but there's things you can do when you're sick, and there's things you can do when you have a fever, or you know, you have a stuffed up nose or sore joints. They're very powerful. So there's definitely other ways you can get involved in the business. If you are interested, definitely let me know, and I'm happy to talk to you about the business opportunity. And really you spend as much time as you want to on the business. There's no like minimums that you have to enroll or anything like that. You just kind of, if you say, I want to spend 3 hours a week on building a doTERRA business, do it. And you can grow at whatever pace you want. So it's kind of cool for that. So I just wanted to make sure you knew, because I know some people are like, well, you didn't tell me that I could get involved. So I wanted to make sure you knew. But essentially, like I said, most people start loving the product. They use the product, they love it, they start telling people about it, and then they just naturally sort of fall into it. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, so I'm going to wrap it up there. Now, there's a couple fun things that I can share with you after the fact. I've got some really fun DIYs for skin. For example, one of the ones that I was just looking at on the weekend that I was going to give a try is you can put aloe in like these little silicone kind of like ice cube trays, and then put lavender and frankincense in the aloe and then freeze them, so that if you ever got a sunburn or you burned yourself on the stove or whatever on your flat iron, you pull one of those cubes out and rub it on your skin and heal. And the oils work amazing for burns. So that seems like a fun DIY. Once you get oils in your house, there is so much you can do with them. I have an after sun spray. I have a bug spray that I use. I have an a bug after bite that I use for mosquito bite, itchies. And oh my gosh, it's endless. But like I said, I'm going to keep it to skin. There's so much you can do for your skin using these. Pretty powerful stuff. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you don't have any questions, I'll kind of hang out here. If you have any more questions, feel free to chat them in. I would recommend, for those of you who are having a reaction of any sort, that you start writing down the food you're eating as well, and then maybe what you're drinking or ingesting, and see if there's a pattern, because often there's a pattern that you might be missing, and it could be something specific in that food item that's triggering a reaction. If not, I would totally work on your gut health. It all starts in the gut. And if your gut is unbalanced, there is a cascade of health impacts down the road that you just don't want, right? So the gut, you need to keep healthy. Gut brain, you guys, gut brain connection. If your gut's not healthy, your brain's not healthy, you could be depressed, you could be, it's endless. So gut health is super key. So doTERRA does have a number of different products, but all I shared were the skin products and a couple of the essential oils. We'll keep it at that. And again, like, I'll talk with you individually if you're interested to figure out a better solution for you and where I can send a sample. And then I will send an email of some DIY recipes if you're interested. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. My name is Linda_Lukovic, and you'll see the spelling in the Eventbrite. And I also have a website that's new. It's not completely done, but it's there. And it's lindalukovic.com. So you'll find some information there as well. And like I said, I'm happy to share that guide with you. All right. So thank you guys. Have an amazing night, and I will talk to you soon.